Hi everybody, welcome to my build video of my new 11Bravo 13. This model is a remix from Gabriel Wozniak, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, otherwise known as Sousaphone. You can find his links below. This is a remix of the original Dummy 13, which I think is a brilliant design. It's been replicated, duplicated, and remixed hundreds of times. But as you can see, I've got my own variation of it and a lot of modifications to the original build. So it's not an exact remix, but there's definitely a lot of differences. And I'm going to go into that detail once we get into the specific parts. First of all, I want to thank all my followers, all of my subscribers. Without you, I probably would have stopped this a long time ago. I'm trying to keep going on this. So without any delay, let's go ahead and move forward. Okay, we're going to start by identifying the different parts of the print cards. I've got two different print cards in front of me right now. This is what is known as the armor print card. This contains all the outer pieces. This one in particular was printed in a yellow PETG from Bamboo Labs. I recommend PLA or PTEG for the outer pieces. This is the bone card. This is the frame. This is printed in black PETG. And now in the case of the bones or the actual skeleton, you'll really want to use PETG. And I've been told ASA or ABS is also a good alternative. I have not had a chance to try that yet. Moving forward, I'll go ahead and do a couple more tests. But I'm going to go ahead and show you all the different pieces and the sections so it's easier to identify when the time comes. I'm going to start with here is the arm pieces. You can tell they have smaller sections here, the biceps, and this is the swivel, and this is where there's a difference in the design. Get into that later. This is the elbow. And this side is also the other side of the arm pieces. Now, this section here is the legs or the lower half. We have the calf, we have the thigh. This is the feet, and you see there's a difference in the design there as well. And this is the swivel and the knees right there. And now we have the middle or the center torso section, the core section. We have the upper main piece. We have this is the hip as well as the abdomen, what I call the abs, and the neck as well, and the head. So, and finally, we have the feet and the hands. We have a open hand and a fist, both left and right, and you can see right here the difference. It's the thumbs are here opposing on that side. So, again, bone card, PETG, armor or the skin card can be in PLA or PETG as well, or even ABS. Anyone's ever tried it in ABS or ASA, let us know how it goes. You can see this one was done in PETG, but it wasn't as smooth as I wanted, especially on the parts that kind of slightly overhang. You can notice it right there in the camera. But we're going to move forward with parts that I've already separated from the card just for the sake of speeding up this video. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with what I refer to as the core, or the upper torso, lower torso, abdomen area. So we're going to start with this piece here, which is the main torso. And then we're going to take this outer piece, which is the inner chest piece. Now, if you look carefully at the inner chest piece, there's a slight kind of a V shape to it. The wider side is the back. The more narrow side is the front. So we're going to take this piece, and it doesn't matter which side we want to go with, but we're going to go ahead and I like to put the flat piece front. I'm going to put it in this way. See that? And slide that in there and just push it into place until it's nice and snug. That's it. Next, we take the chest piece, which is, again, wider in the back, the front, you can also see it's kind of got a little dip there where the chest muscles meet. And then we go ahead and line that up with that piece there. And what we want to do is from the bottom, go up. This part takes a little bit of effort, but you got to be just gentle. There's just enough tolerance to slide it in. And the clamp, which is that outer ring, we'll go ahead and go underneath on the bottom there and then just kind of adjust and fidget a little. So yeah, this part's annoying. Let's go ahead and just show that. I'm probably going to fast forward this part of the video. There we go. And now we have the upper torso. Okay, set that aside. Let's move on. We're going to move on to the abs, which is this guy here. This piece with the abs. The little roundish side is to the front and top. And then we're going to take that ab muscle, or excuse me, the ab frame, which is this guy here. And this is the one that has a little bit more of a square to it, if you kind of notice. Okay. And we're going to stick that in there on the bottom with the circular round part heading upward. Like that. And the clamp on the bottom, like that. All right. Looks kind of like this. So, okay. Set that aside. Next, lower torso. Now, this one is probably the toughest to put together because there's very little tolerance and sometimes the print gets stringy, so that kind of adds to the problem. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the hip bone or the pelvis bone right here. This is kind of a little bit longer, and it's a very unique piece, so you can see there. Round in the middle, kind of a little bit on the center there. Slide that in between, in the middle there, and you kind of want to go this way. The back of it is wider, where there's a flat part. That's the butt. And the groin is the front here. Now, what I want to do is you want to put the more flat piece facing forward and try to put it as center as you can, because that way you can put this guy, which is kind of the waist, the connector between the hip and the, I guess you would want to call that the spine area. This is where you got to be really careful. I've hurt myself many times doing this, but kind of push that in there until you hear a little bit of a snap. And then you take this and you kind of just wiggle it a little bit, make sure it's good. This guy doesn't necessarily rotate 360, but there's slight movement. And that's all set. Okay, easy. Now, what we want to do is assemble the lower or mid torso. So we're going to go with the abs and the hip. And you see here where there's the part that's a little bit flat. That's the part that connects to the build plate. And the clamp, but this is probably the easiest way to do is I line up that part this way so that the flat part here, you can see right there, flat part kind of goes in to the clamp. That's the least amount of resistance. You slap that together and you hear it click. There you go. Move it around a little bit, make sure it's good, and it is. Next, we take the upper chest, same thing. Find the flat area there, take the side of the clamp, snap it in there until you hear it click. There we go. Hear a click. God, let there be a click, please. Whoops. Probably help if I rotate that properly. There we go. And, well, this one may actually be a little bit tougher. Click. There we go. Now we have a fully assembled upper torso. Move it around a little bit, make sure it moves, which looks like it is freely. And it's still got a connection. Slight wiggle, very slight wiggle, because there's more to come. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and put that aside. We have the head. Pretty straightforward. This is the head connector. It looks like a little C-clamp, a little bit of a little thingy there. That helped keep the clamp inside the head. We're going to go ahead and put that this way. So you can see there. Go ahead and put it into place. And once it gets into place, you want to put it in there until and this part is kind of tough here, until it kind of seats deep inside the head there. Not that easy. Okay, so the headpiece needs a little bit of convincing. I had to kind of just push it against the table a little bit to help me get a hard surface. And then I kind of put it in there. And if you look carefully in there, the clamp needs to go beyond that first little lip. That's how you know it's in there good. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab the neck, and we're going to just shove it in there. So good. Give it a little twist. Looks good. Feels good. Okay. So that's in there. Nice and tight. Take the rest of the upper torso. Again, flat piece to help put it in there. Rotate it where you need it. And now we have a completed upper torso with the head. Okay. That is that. We're going to set this guy aside, and we're going to go ahead and start doing the arms. So let's put it right there. Out of the way. Again. And yeah, let's start on the arms.